Some say the essence of time is one that is as old as comprehension states. But then again, there are times in which we don't understand the essence of someone who knows more. Someone who's capable of teaching us so much in so little a scale that throughout our entire existence we tend to hold on to said teachings. I mean, for those of you who are lucky enough to experience a really good teacher in your life, you know what I'm talking about when I say that all it takes is one to make a huge difference in perception of educationists. All throughout my life I had horrible teachers, and I'm going to be very straight up. I had very horrible teachers, and it was nothing special in any way, shape or form. I couldn't, no teacher that I would ever encounter made me feel like this person knows so much and I can benefit so much by just being around this person and taking in whatever they're putting out there. But then there are always moments in time when you come across someone who's not necessarily your teacher even, but who knows exactly what they're talking about in terms of where they're coming from, who have such a solid base that even the slightest bit of information that comes out of them holds immense ground. We all learn in different ways, and with today's generation, the internet being what it is, you always teach yourself more than anyone else can teach you, and that's just facts today. If you want to learn, you gotta teach yourself. More and more people have issues grasping topics, understanding things, being able to contemplate ideas. All of that stems from just one thing, and that is being able to perceive the fact that you want to truly know what you're talking about. You want to truly be educated in the realm of what interests you. And that is something that is very hard to grasp. I mean, there are those of us out there who spend enormous amounts of time reading, which is an amazing hobby. Of course it is. But how many of you have ever thought of writing your own book? How many of you have ever thought of consuming content but never thought instead of making content? There are people out there who would spend hours on Instagram, on Facebook, on so many social media platforms, consuming enormous amounts of content that is as diverse as you can even begin to describe in any way. But that's beyond the point. The point is very simple, and the point is this: that if you are unable to believe that you can learn however you want to learn, then that is a flawed mentality. The essence of someone who can teach us life skills is also a teacher. People who spend years and years underneath senseis in dojos, under multiple division black belts in martial arts, all of that is also teaching. It is not just about writing something on a blackboard and making sure that the rest of the students who are around you grasp what you're talking about. It's about being able to take what you have in your head and convey it to multiple minds that may take it to another level if they get the understanding of it right, if they get the comprehension of the topic. And it all boils down to being able to communicate. For it's the essence of communication that holds its own accord. A lot of people out there don't really understand that teachers hold this glorified presence amongst us. Even going back to the dates of the kings, the most knowledgeable people would have their own righteous living away from all of the predicaments of the kingdom. As a matter of fact, the most educated people would often be referred to by the king for multiple reasons, be it in his own kingdom or be it for strategic responses to whatever might be the case. Consider putting yourself back into a time scale in which you are looking out at the open vastness of the ground in front of you. But the time is in 2020. The year is 1700s. In that era, imagine the essence and the power of sheer knowledge alone. Brains over brute isn't just a saying, it holds ground. It conveys something that you are supposed to make sense out of in your own brain. You're supposed to understand that not everything can be resolved with sheer physical dominance. Harder for most to even comprehend that there are things that are larger than themselves. You see, we as humans have a tendency of only following what is in our immediate proximity. You need not worry about that because you are by no way affected by it directly. And as long as you are by no way affected by it directly, you ignore it and you move past it on to the next one, onto your whatever you might be doing that day. Up until the day it's you who's at the epicenter of something bad that happened. And then you understand that, sympathy, being able to contemplate situations, being able to be the bigger person, to understand that it isn't all about someone trying to bring you down, about ego, about whatever you might believe, that when someone who knows more than you tries to tell you better, as human beings, and that, to be honest, is quite alright. As long as you understand that there is more to life than just trying to show sheer dominance, because there's always going to be somewhere out there who knows way more than you do, who understands things on a bigger scale than you do, who sheerly based on his knowledge of certain things can cause havoc in your life, in your existence. We in the 20th century have taken way too much for granted. 2020 has been a year of reality check for most. Doomsday preppers, people who believed that something big was coming, are the only ones who make sense today. People who had stockpiled ginormous amounts of resources are the only ones living at large today. People with huge lands, open acres, are the only ones enjoying freedom. You are in a predicament today wherein you need to understand that there is no shame in knowing that there is someone else out there who knows more than you. So the drive to learn, to educate yourself, is not one that limits you, no matter what scale you're looking at it towards. It has no threshold, it has no filter boundaries, nothing. And the only thing that it requires is will. Sheer will and perseverance, and that's it. I learn something new every day, and I'm glad for it. For those of you that can relate to the sheer thirst of understanding what it means to learn, you know what it means to be educated, and you know that a piece of paper does not show education. You can buy endless amounts of paper. It's knowledge that is in your head. It's priceless. See you guys soon. This has been Real. Happy Teachers Day. And to all the educators out there, I thank you for your presence, and I thank you for the efforts that you take on a daily basis for all of us. See you guys in the next one. Take care and peace.